I saved thousands of lives. He admitted that 2 months later. 2 months later. And Dr. Fauci said, don't put on masks. Don't put, you see the thing. And now he says, put on masks. And they say, you know, he's a wonderful guy. And he is a wonderful guy. I like him. He just happens to have a very bad arm. He's a bad arm. He's a corrupt politician. You see it? Now they say the laptop Schiff, watermelon head, Schiff. That laptop was produced by Russia. Here we go again. Russia. Russia. Here we go again. Can you imagine what they must think of it? These people are crazy. They used to write nothing about me. Now I average probably about 4 or 5 stories a day on the front page. Someday they're going to give me a good one. Watch. It might be tomorrow. Is the mic ready? Yes. I wonder who did that to our mic.
On the tape. Man, President Trump had hellacious 2020, eventful 2020, as he reflects back on losing the election to Joe Biden. We'll have highlights on that. Plus, we'll have the infamous YMCA dance that the president was dancing to throughout the campaign, and it's the president losing reality and gripping on the past, as he still has not conceded to the election after Joe Biden was the apparent victor. All this and more when we have the 4th annual Trump Turkey Day. Outrageous Moments starts right now on the tape. Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of the tape. On our Thanksgiving edition of the tape, this is called the Trump Thanksgiving Turkey Day. You know, we're talking about President Trump. We've been talking about him for the 4th time for our Turkey Day annual. But it's annual tradition. First things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Take Here on Connect, and happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and like, and hit that notification bell. All right, let's get to the Trump Thanksgiving Turkey Day Parade. This is the 4th annual Turkey Day Parade, meaning that President Trump started 4 years ago on November 2016, being elected the 45th President of the United States. And now, November 2020, he lost the election to Joe Biden, and now he's on the verge of leaving the White House next January. And the president is angry, bitter, and outspoken, as he normally is, as an outspoken personality in the president. Well, we're going to have the infamous moments throughout this year that made President Trump very controversial and very outspoken to these. All right, let's get started with the beginning of the year when President Trump found out, like the rest of us, about the COVID-19 pandemic. And a lot of people some believe that he knew ahead of time that the pandemic was coming. Well, look at this, where he made the announcement with this.
And the evidence that you're talking about, John, is anecdotal evidence. So as the commissioner of FDA and the president mentioned yesterday, we're trying to strike a balance between making something with a potential of an effect to the American people available at the same time that we do it under the auspices of a protocol that would give us information
to determine if it's truly safe and truly effective. But the information that you're referring to specifically is anecdotal. It was not done in a controlled clinical trial, so you really can't make any definitive statement about it.
Without seeing too much, I'm probably more of a fan of that than maybe than anybody. But I'm a big fan, and we'll see what happens. And we all understand what the doctor said is 100% correct. It's early, but I've seen things that are impressive. We'll see. We're going to know soon. We're going to know soon, including safety. But when you get that safety, this has been prescribed for many years for people to combat malaria, which was a big problem, and it's very effective. It's a strong drug. So we'll see.
Is it possible that your impulse to put a positive spin on things may be giving Americans a false sense of hope? I don't think so. Right now.
So I think that I think it's got.
They're not going to drug.
Look, it may work and it may not work, and I agree with the doctor what he said. May work, may not work. I feel good about it. That's all it is, just a feeling. I'm a smart guy. I feel good about it. And we're going to see. You're going to see soon enough. Okay?
What do you say the Americans were scared, though? I guess nearly 200 dead, 14,000 yours sick. Millions, as you witnessed, who are scared right now. What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say. I think it's a very nasty question, and I think it's a very bad signal that you're putting out to the American people. The American people are looking for answers, and they're looking for hope. And you're doing sensationalism, and the same with NBC and Comcast. I don't call it Comcast. I call it Comcast. Let me just for who you work. Let me just say something. That's really bad reporting. And you ought to get back to reporting instead of sensationalism. Let's see if it works. It might and it might not. I happen to feel good about it, but who knows? I've been right a lot. Let's see what happens, John. The units that were...
As you saw right there, President Trump made the announcement that the COVID pandemic was... But the announcement was he thought he was going to end it by Easter. Well, Easter came around, and he's still going around this pandemic, and he's still acting all wild and crazy and unbelievable. Well, President Trump even took things a little bit further when a certain reporter asked him how he's going to fix the pandemic with this.
Suggestions on how to combat COVID-19.
I see the disinfectant in a minute. Is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside?
It may sound crazy, but obviously people take the president's word seriously.
It was just the most bizarre thing I've ever heard.
The look on Dr. Deborah Birx's face says it all. She's one of the world's foremost experts on infectious diseases.
A lot of people felt for Dr. Birx as she looked like she was trying to hold her face on straight.
Lysol quickly issuing a statement. We must be clear that under no circumstance should our disinfectant products be administered into the human body through injection, ingestion, or any other route.
These are dangerous chemicals to inject intravenously. It travels through the circulatory system in the blood to the major organs, causes kidney, liver, brain damage, can damage the cells in your blood, and can be fatal.
Today, the president said he was being sarcastic.
That was done in the form of a sarcastic question to the reporters.
So you were asking your medical experts to look into it?
No.
The president says he's going to use this right here to end the COVID-19. And I advise each of you to never use this as a prop or to drink it, anything like this. Don't drink bleach. Bleach will kill you automatically and kill your insides, regardless of what he's saying. He thinks he believes he knows what he's talking about he knows more than the scientists know, which he's crazy. But that's his story. All right. Also, President Trump even took a little bit further. You know, he was coming during election season. He had to campaign hard and campaign viciously. And his opponent, Joe Biden, Let's listen some comments on what he says about his opponent, Joe Biden, with this.
No, press always asks me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym. He said, because I'm famous, because I'm a star, because I'm a billionaire, I can do things other people can't. What a disgusting assertion for anyone to make. The press always asks me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish.
Did you see where Biden wants to take me to the back of the barn? Me. He wants it. I'd love that. I'd love that. Mr. Tough Guy. You know, he's Mr. Tough Guy. You know when he's Mr. Tough Guy? When he's standing behind a microphone by himself. That's when he's... He wants to bring me to the back of the barn. Oh. Some things in life you could really love doing. Our nation is lost. And by the way, if I said that, they'd say, he's violent. How could he have done that?
In his speech today, Joe Biden will say that your policies represent an existential threat to this nation. What do you say to Joe Biden?
Well, I heard Biden, who's a loser. I mean, look, Joe never got more than 1%, except Obama took him off the trash heap, and now it looks like he's failing. It looks like his friends from the left are going to overtake him pretty soon. But I heard, his whole campaign is to hit Trump. You look at what the Obama administration did in terms of the military, in terms of security, in terms of other nations, in terms of almost everything. Much of it now, fortunately for everybody here, has been overturned. But look, when a man has to mention my name 76 times in his speech, that means he's in trouble. Now, I have to tell you, he's a different guy. He looks different than he used to. He acts different than he used to. He's even slower than he used to be. So I don't know, but when he mentions my name that many times, I guess I should be complimented. No, I'd rather run against, I think, Biden than anybody. I think he's the weakest mentally. And I like running against people that are weak mentally. I think Joe is the weakest up here. The other ones have much more energy. I don't agree with their policies, but I think Joe is a man who is, I call him 1% Joe. Because until Obama came along, he didn't do very well. But I don't bring him up. Joe Biden thought that China was not a competitor of ours. Joe Biden is a dummy. Joe Biden thought China was not a competitor. China made $500 billion over a short period of time against Obama, Biden, and for many, many years, in all fairness to them. China is a major competitor, and right now China wants to make a deal very badly. It's me right now that's holding up the deal. And we're going to either do a great deal with China, or we're not doing a deal at all. Right now, China is paying us billions and billions of dollars. They never gave us 10 cents. And China ate our country alive during Obama and Biden. They ate us alive. And then Biden has some kind of a relationship financially, or his son, with China? Tell me about that. Because China ate the United States alive economically. And it's a Sleepy Joe would say the unemployment rate in the great state of Ohio. No, you're in South Carolina. Joe, you're in South Carolina. Come up and you ever see the guy that no, it's South Carolina, it's not Ohio. Okay. And he goes, all right, Iowa? Did you say Iowa? No. No, you did that like 7 times. If I did that once, it would be the end of the road, right? Be the end of the road. They see Trump has lost it. They like to say that anyway, I guess. So. These people are bad people. Oh, Sleepy Joe. Oh, he's running tomorrow. No, but can you imagine if I said just a small fraction of the mistakes he makes, which are unbelievable? Every speech. I actually said the other night, I was watching him when he said about half the population wiped out with guns. I said, that's a horrible thing. That's the end of his evening. That's the end of his political career. And then after the debate, they're reviewing him. They said, Joe Biden had a great night last night. I don't get it, Tim.
As you saw right there, President Trump says Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, and led to these debates between the two. And look what these presidential debates, was just only 2 of them at the time. And the president tried to go by defense mode and attack Joe Biden and attack his family with this.
Will you shut up, listen? China ate your lunch, Joe.
You're the worst president America has ever had. Come on. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you,
I just want to make sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class, first in your class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that.
You know what?
You're not true.
You're going to have
true.
Gentlemen. I hate to raise my voice, but it seems to me, why shouldn't I be different than the two of you?
I will tell you very simply, we won the election. Elections have consequences. We have the Senate, we have the White House, and we have a phenomenal nominee, respected by all.
The American people have a right to have a say in who the Supreme Court nominee is. And that say occurs when they vote for a United States senators and when they vote for the President of the United States. They're not going to get that chance now because we're in the middle of an election already. He panicked or he just looked at the stock market. One of the two, because guess what? A lot of people died and a lot more are going to die unless he gets a lot smarter.
If we would have listened to you, the country would have been left wide open. Millions of people would have died, not 200,000, and one person is too much. It's China's fault. It should have never happened. They stopped it from going in, but it was China's fault. This guy will close down the whole country and destroy our country. Our country is coming back incredibly well, setting records as it does it. We don't need somebody to come in and say, let's shut it down.
We handed him a booming economy. He blew it. We have a higher deficit with China now than we did before. We have the highest trade deficit with Mexico.
China ate your lunch.
All right,
China ate your lunch, Joe, and no wonder your son goes in and he takes out billions of dollars. Takes out billions of dollars to manage. He makes millions of dollars. And also, while we're at it, why is it, just out of curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million. What did he do to deserve it? What did he do with Burisma to deserve $183,000?
You've asked a question, not an answer.
None of that is true.
Oh, really?
Totally.
He didn't get
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland? Are you prepared to specifically
do it? I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. Do you want to call them? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and white supremacists and
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
You got it.
Not militia.
You saw right there the president trying to attack Joe Biden, his family, and everybody in between, which he took in the pot shot. That's politics for you, and you know how that go. Well, we move forward to that in Kamala Harris, who's now the next VP elect, and the president said some harsh, strong words about her with this.
40. And I wanted to ask about a specific example that a lot of people thought was the Bodie moment. As San Francisco DA, she oversaw, according to Mercury News, 1,900 marijuana convictions added some more evidence? Is there custom marijuana liability?
Well, she lied. I mean, she said things that were untrue. She is a person that's told many stories that weren't true. She's very big into raising taxes. She wants to slash funds for our military at a level that nobody can even believe. She is against fracking. She's against petroleum products. I mean, how do you do that and go into Pennsylvania or Ohio or Oklahoma or the great state of Texas? She's against fracking. Fracking's a big deal. She's in favor of socialized medicine, where you're going to lose your doctors, you're going to lose your plans. She wants to take your health care plans away from 180 million Americans. 180 million Americans that are very happy with their health insurance, and she wants to take that away. So she was my number one pick. I mean, she was, as they would say, because hopefully you'll start college football, she was my number one draft pick. And we'll see how she works out. She did very, very poorly in the primaries, as you know. She was expected to do well, and she ended up at right around 2% and spent a lot of money. She had a lot of things happening, and so I was a little surprised that he picked her. I've been watching her for a long time, and I was a little surprised. She was extraordinarily nasty to Kavanaugh, Judge Kavanaugh then, now Justice Kavanaugh. She was nasty to a level that was just a horrible thing, the way she was, the way she treated now Justice Kavanaugh. And I won't forget that soon. So she did very poorly in the primaries, and now she's chosen. So let's see how that all works out.
Is marijuana legalization vote for you rather than her because she convicted so many people in the past?
I can't tell you what she's voting for. I don't think she knows what. I think Joe knows even less than she does. But I was a little surprised at the pick. A lot of people would say that might be the pick. I was more surprised than anything else because she did so poorly. Many people.
The president called Kamala Harris a nasty woman. I don't know what he's trying to say. I think when he's saying that, trying to call her an angry woman, and then with that connotation sometimes where a black woman is angry, and they're difficult to work with, which is not the case. But President Trump took it a little bit further than what he should have, but he was trying to play politics as usual. Well, you know how they go. No, he who laughs loudest. So Kamala Harris and Joe Biden may have won the election, and the president has not conceded to this day now. So, there you go. All right. We'll be back with more tape. Trump's Turkey Day after this. Welcome back to the Trump Turkey Day outrageous moments here on the tape on this Thanksgiving edition. You see right here, I just got back, just changing for a minute for a quick commercial break. I'm glad you all having a great Thanksgiving. Joining the conversation using the hashtag TakeHealConnect. Thank you all for watching this edition of the tape. All right, we continue our crusade with Donald Trump's Turkey Day moments. Now, many of you know Donald Trump will be leaving office on January 20, 2021. He doesn't look happy about it. He's bitter about it. But he finally tried to renege with this.
3 weeks after the election, President Trump giving a reluctant endorsement to the agency in charge of green-lighting the formal transition process. The General Services Administration designated President-elect Joe Biden as the apparent winner, officially clearing the way for Biden's team to receive federal money and resources, and authorizing the Trump administration to begin coordinating with its successors. But despite mounting pressure from a growing number of Republicans, still no concession from the president, tweeting Monday night, "Our case strongly continues and I believe we will prevail." It comes after GSA Administrator Emily Murphy, in a letter to Mr. Biden obtained by NBC News, writes she was never directly or indirectly pressured by any executive branch official, defending the delay, saying she did not want to get ahead of the constitutional process. And while Murphy says she acted independently, the president insisted in the best interest of our country, he is recommending she take action. It follows a series of dramatic setbacks for President Trump, the battleground state Michigan certifying its vote for Biden on Monday, and the president's legal challenges repeatedly getting rejected by the courts. This morning, multiple sources telling the New York Times that top aides, including White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, told the president that the transition needed to begin. The Washington Post reporting, President Trump called political advisors Monday to say he had doubts about the GSA initiating the transition. Meantime, the Trump's campaign lawyer made this false claim again overnight.
The election was stolen and President Trump won by a landslide.
Biden's transition team calling the GSA's move a needed step, allowing them to begin battling the pandemic and rebuilding the economy. Some Republican lawmakers who have been reluctant to acknowledge Biden's victory finally did. Senator Bill Cassidy writing, "I voted for President Trump, but Joe Biden won." And the chorus of Republicans speaking out had started.
Accepted a formal transition to a Biden administration can begin, while still pursuing legal challenges to election results in several key states. The president said the General Services Administration, which oversees the official transition from one president to another, can do what needs to be done to begin the process. The federal agency says it acknowledges Joe Biden as the apparent winner of the election. The news means President-elect Joe Biden now has access to top-secret briefings, office space, and bureaucrats to help him and his team prepare for the job. Joe Biden has already revealed his picks for top foreign and national security policy positions, including Antony Blinken as Secretary of State and John Kerry as a climate envoy. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has still refused to concede the election and urged his supporters to keep up the fight.
Campaign, which I won, by the way, but, we'll find that out.
The president has made claims about alleged voter fraud in several states without substantial evidence and is mounting legal challenges to some election results. As things stand, Biden has won 306 electoral votes to Trump's 232. However, these will not be made official until next month, and Mr. Trump will continue to use the courts to attempt to flip states in his favor. Experts have said it is highly unlikely this will happen, with Joe Biden's lead in swing states being too significant to be flipped in recounts or by other legal measures.
The president allowing the transition to happen. He didn't want it to happen, but now he come to his senses and come to the realization that he no longer will get the votes that he needed. He thought he can just try to get a recount in different states. Thought he could go and stop it and sabotage the election, but too little, too late. The election already been determined. Joe Biden is the next president of the United States, the 46th president of the United States, going this far in January. Well, president's wife looking so radiant and vibrant of the Christmas tree. Let's look at what festivities that she's had planned with this.
Hey, NBC News viewers.
As you see right there, the president's wife looking elated, looking happy like never before. She is many sources saying that she was miserable in the White House, and now she's elated that her husband lost, and now they can go back to their normal lives, being private citizens. But I think Trump's not going anywhere anytime too soon. As there's been reports that he is planning to have a network coming soon, alt-right network that devoted to conspiracy theories and anything that Trump think about. All right. So we found out that President Trump is gone from the gambler. We hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful, holiday season. And we'll see you next week for a new edition of The Take. And hopefully, we hope President Trump can think over this holiday season and reflect over the 4 years that he had as president. Well, no, there you go. Well, I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long, and we'll see you next week for another edition of The Take. See you later.